Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some exciting developments out of Iraq, specifically from the central bank. If you've been following the news, you might have heard repeated mentions of international standards coming from the Central Bank of Iraq. But what does this really mean for Iraq and, more importantly, for the Iraqi dinar? First, let's break down what the term international standards refers to. These standards are essentially globally accepted rules and guidelines that financial institutions and governments follow to ensure transparency, stability, and security in financial markets. For a country like Iraq, adopting international standards would mean aligning its banking system, currency policies, and financial regulations with those of major global economies. So, why is this significant for Iraq? Well, for years, Iraq has struggled with economic instability, largely due to wars, sanctions, and internal corruption. These issues have led to a financial system that has often been isolated from the global community. The Iraqi dinar, for example, has remained a highly speculative currency, with its value fluctuating significantly based on rumors and local events rather than international trade or investment. This has left Iraq on the fringes of the global financial market. But in recent times, the Central Bank of Iraq has been making bold claims about adopting international standards, and this could be a game changer. By aligning with these global standards, Iraq would be signaling to the world that it is serious about reforming its financial sector and opening its doors to international investors. And if Iraq truly commits to these reforms, it could lead to a more stable dinar, increased foreign investments, and potentially a more prosperous future for the Iraqi economy. Now, one of the key areas where Iraq would need to focus is on improving the transparency and stability of its financial system. This would involve implementing anti-money laundering, AML, laws, strengthening the regulatory framework for banks, and improving the overall governance of the financial sector. These reforms would not only boost investor confidence, but also ensure that Iraq complies with global financial regulations. Another aspect of meeting international standards would be ensuring that Iraq's currency exchange policies are more in line with global practices. Currently, the Iraqi dinar operates in a somewhat restricted market with limited foreign exchange availability. For Iraq to truly join the international financial community, the central bank would need to allow for a more flexible exchange rate regime, which could ultimately lead to a revaluation or even a float of the dinar. So, what does this mean for the future? If Iraq successfully implements these international standards, it could lead to a more stable and predictable financial environment. This, in turn, could attract foreign investment, create jobs, and improve the overall economic situation in the country. For those holding Iraqi dinar, this could also mean a more favorable exchange rate in the future, especially if Iraq's economy starts to grow and stabilize. Of course, there are still many hurdles to overcome. Implementing these standards requires political will, financial discipline, and a commitment to long-term reform. But the fact that the Central Bank of Iraq is even talking about international standards is a positive sign. It shows that there is an awareness within Iraq's financial leadership of the need to reform and modernize the system. In conclusion, while we can't predict exactly when Iraq will fully integrate into the international community, these signals from the central bank are certainly encouraging. The journey towards adopting international standards is not easy, but it's a crucial step in ensuring Iraq's economic growth and stability. Stay tuned to the channel as we continue to follow these developments closely. If you're interested in updates about Iraq's economy and the future of the Iraqi dinar, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos.